your pics looked fab, like an amazing holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it was around about 20 degrees every day, which was good, and it only rained once for just a wee while, so it was.
Wow.
But when it rained, Jesus, man!
Oh, really?
Yeah. By that time we were in Catania, so we could shelter in shops and stuff like that. But yeah, it was excellent. It was a really good holiday. 5 days in Syracuse and 2 in Catania. Wow. And we went out, and it's what you know what it's like with these places. You walk everywhere. Everywhere's sort of reasonably close, and even myself and Leslie are still able to actually walk for reasonable distances, you know. So we went everywhere. We just did everything that we could find locally. I went to Noto as well, which is a wee town about 40 minutes in a bus away from Syracuse, and it was great. It was just had a great time. Lots of churches and things to do, and walking about and eating pasta and pizza and meats and
all that good stuff.
Yeah, the place we stayed in Syracuse was there's a sort of a almost like an island part to it. It's not really an island. It's called Artesia. I don't know if you've been there. Yeah,
I've been to Catania, but not where you were.
Yeah, Syracuse is right at the sort of the heel of the island. Right. So where we were staying was the Nazi headquarters during World War II, and then became the Allied headquarters during World War II. So
I'd have been absolutely buzzing. I'd have never left.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense as well because it was right on the coast and everything. So it was,
it
was pretty good. But yeah, we had a great time. In Catania, did you go to the cinema museum in Catania?
No.
Yeah, it's how like Catania is quite an industrial type town. Apart from this, there's a nice bit to it, and then everywhere else is just it's just a working town.
It's a regular,
Yeah, we're down beside the railway station. There's like almost like a museum complex there. There's a World War II museum and there's a cinema museum. We went to the cinema one. It was really good. It was excellent. Wow. It was quite small, so it was all about cinema and Italy and Sicily and everything. And obviously they took you through. There was wee booths that took you through all the history of the moving image and all that, and then it showed you lots of images from films that had been made in Sicily. Although it didn't mention Godfather Part 2, I thought that would have been sort of front and centre. I didn't know they were focusing on more sort of Italian
language
stuff,
films,
like The Leopard and stuff like that. So it was very, very good. And then there was a recreation of a cinema actually in the place, and they showed this. How do you describe it? It was a sort of like all these different aspects of the cinema. So therefore, it's like they talked about the sound and they talked about the moving image and laughter and love and all that. And it was only about like 15 minutes or something. But yeah, it was really good. And then they had a recreation of almost like a Sicilian house, the different rooms in it, and in the different rooms they had different films about, like in the kitchen, they had films that were set in the kitchen and some were set in the bedroom, and they had like screens everywhere. So it was really good. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It was like about like €6 or something like that. But this thing was tucked away. I know it was quite obviously it's advertised and everything, and it was on the various guide books and sites and all that, but it was kind of out of the way, and you're kind of thinking this should be in the middle of the town, It was because it was really well curated and everything really well put together. It was good fun. Oh, good stuff. How was Sinners then? I take it you enjoyed it.
Oh my God, John! I muted everything beforehand on like Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff like that, but there was a couple of tweets that just got through, and they were like 4 and 5 star, best film you'll see all year, and I was like, okay. Went in and I was like, oh, is this going to live up to the hype? Because sometimes with people, they're just they get caught. Oh my God, like the score is phenomenal, the performances are incredible, and the actual like just the whole setting and storyline and the way the sort of vampires are used and positioned in relation to the historical setting. So good, and just very like there's moments in it that is really like uplifting and you're sort of bopping along with what's going on, and then there's other moments that are so uncanny and frightening, but not in like a gory way, just like you just know there's something so wrong here and you just can't quite put your finger on what it's going to be. I do think the second trailer gives too much away, so if you haven't seen that, don't watch it before you go. But seriously, like easily top 10 of the year material already. Just so bloody good.
Wow, that's very impressive. It really is.
And it's not gimmicky, because I was a bit worried as well about, like, obviously Michael B. Jordan is playing twins, and I was a bit like, how is this going to go? There's a couple of moments where you're like, oh, is that the back of someone else's head or whatever? But the way they set it up is the twins dress differently for starters. So one's in a trilby, one's in a baker's cap, and they sort of keep to that sort of uniform the whole way throughout. And then when you get to know a bit of their backstory, you start to notice like slightly different mannerisms between the two of them. And they both have gold teeth, but on different sides of their mouth as well. So there is little touches that let you sort of, it's really well done. And the score is Ludwig Göransson that did the Mandalorian theme tune, amongst other things. It's phenomenal. So if you like blues, so good. But I will say to everyone that there is a mid-credit sequence and an end-credit sequence, so you do have to keep your bum in the seat right till the very end.
Nice. Was it busy? Cinema?
Mobbed. Absolutely mobbed. Don't get me wrong, we weren't in the biggest screen at Silverburn, but there was like no spare seats. Everybody was packed in, so it was actually really nice to see that as well.
Yeah, a combination of a good movie and a holiday weekend.
I think this will do really well, especially as you say, holiday weekend. The weather's not amazing, so it might even benefit from that as well. People going, oh, come on, we'll just go and see this because it's new and it's out. But it's so good. So good.
Brilliant. Oh, it's really good. It's excellent. Yeah, I mean, well, obviously I've been away, so I've been watching stuff on various streaming services because... Well, the first place we were in, it wasn't really a smart TV we had, so it was lots of Italian television, which was all right. It's quite entertaining because you're watching old episodes of House and NCIS.
Yeah.
So like Law and Order, and they seem to show them sort of back to back all day, every day. But I was able to watch some stuff on Prime. I watched The Order, which is a Jude Law film, which is based on a true story about the FBI and the Aryan Nation.
Yeah, I put that on my watch list. Yeah,
it's really good actually. It's a pretty good sort of gritty style thriller. There's a wee bit of action as well. Some really good performances. Nicholas Hoult is in it as well. So yeah, that was really good. And the opposite scale to that was G20, which was awful. It's Viola Davis for a start.
Oh no, I love her.
We're obviously going to talk about idealistic presidents, but she is president of the United States, and she goes to this G20 conference, which gets hijacked by terrorists who initially it looks as if they're making demands to change the world, but it's really just a big con. And this is an action film, and she's this badass ex-military type, and it's just all over the place. It's just rubbish. It's rubbish from start to finish.
Enjoyable rubbish, or did you feel like you were being tortured? Oh
no, it wasn't even particularly entertaining. You knew exactly what was going to happen. You knew how it was going to be resolved, who was going to save the day, who was going to die, who was going to, maybe you were thinking, maybe they're going to die. At some point, you're going, well, yeah, they're going to get shot, but they're not going to die. They're going to make a comeback in the third act and help save things, and you're thinking, yeah, very good, So it was just awful. Really, really bad.
On a similar vibe, avoid The Rule of Jenny Penn on Amazon Prime. I think that was maybe through Shudder. The trailer looked incredible. It was Geoffrey Rush and John Lithgow, and it's set in a care home. Geoffrey Rush is like a judge who gets put into a care home because he's had a stroke, and this care home is basically being terrorized by John Lithgow and his little eyeless puppet doll thing that he carries about. The doll is called Jenny Penn. Absolutely pointless, not scary. I mean, John Lithgow looks like he's having the time of his life, but just I got to the end of it going, what the hell was the point of all of that? And like all of these sort of plot points that you thought, oh well, that's going to go to such and such, and that's how that will resolve. Nothing. Just absolutely no resolution, nothing. And the trailer made it look about 1,000 times scarier than what it was. I mean, at one point, John Lithgow is like tap dancing to Knees Up Mother Brown. Like it's mental, and not in a good way, not in an unsettling, oh that was weird kind of way. Just what the hell was the point in all of that? Don't do it.
Yeah, that's a shame because he's been in quite a lot of good stuff. He's usually a bad guy.
And which is what prompted me to watch it, but no.
Yeah, because obviously he did Dexter a wee while back, and he was in Conclave as well. So yeah, he gets around. In fact, he was Churchill as well.
In The Crown, was it? Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. I suppose still have to keep working, don't they? Another one I saw was Confess Fletch. Have you seen that? Fletch was it's a book series from the 70s and 80s, and it was Chevy Chase who portrayed him in two films, Fletch and Fletch Lives. And there wasn't any more made after that. But John Hamm stars in Confess Fletch, which was from 2 years ago. And it's just popped up on Netflix. I'd seen it sort of advertised at the time when it came out, but never got a chance to see it. And it's actually a really decent movie. He is an investigative reporter, but he's really a bit of a sort of private detective at the same time. And he gets embroiled in all this stuff around missing paintings and people. He finds somebody dead in his rented apartment as soon as the film starts, and he's sort of in line as sort of prime suspect number one for it and all that. But it's really it's very kind of light in terms of the way that the story's told, and the performances, and the humour's quite light in it as well. But it works really well. It's a cracking movie. I thought it was fantastic. Just seemed to flow for about, and again, it's only about 90 minutes. So hey.
Oh, you had me at John Hamm. Yeah, I don't even care what the length is. You had me at John Hamm.
Yeah, so that was really good. I really enjoyed that. But it's interesting being away because you obviously get to see things in different countries, and Netflix is the same, but it's just slightly different. There's slightly different options on it, and some you're going, but that's not on. That's in Prime back home or whatever, So, it's good to obviously just. When we were away, we would go out in the morning and do all our stuff, and then come back to the apartment maybe for like an hour or two, and then go out again in the afternoon, and then come back and sort of detox for a couple of hours, watch the telly, eat crisps, have a beer, that, and then go out in the evening. So it was like sort of in between. We've sort of just been using that as a sort of in between thing, just so that we weren't doing like 25,000 steps in a go and then wondering why our feet were throbbing, But yeah, it's interesting the sort of options that you have now everywhere you go. You're never really that far away from anything. So it's there if you want it. But obviously, I wasn't going to make that the sort of focus of the holiday. And the fact that everything's streaming, it's not as if you go, we better cut short the tour. House is starting at 4:30. So, it's pretty decent. Yeah. So. What else to say? I saw Novocaine. You've seen Novocaine, haven't you?
I am desperate to see this. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me otherwise?
No. It's definitely worth watching. Jack Quaid, who cannot feel pain due to, and it's not a superhero thing. It was a medical condition, so he can't feel pain, and he's a very cautious man in every aspect, because he obviously, like, he has a timer in his watch to set every 3 hours, so he goes to the toilet because he can't tell if his bladder's sore.
No way!
So there's needs to be sort of details in it as well, which makes it really, really good. But then it goes a bit nuts because obviously he gets involved in this whole situation where he's trying to save a girl and everything, and it's really good. It's really quite funny, but it's really quite sort of full on action as well. And in a way that you would kind of expect somebody who works as a bank clerk to behave during these situations.
Right.
It doesn't turn into this total badass. He's just sort of feeling his way along. But I won't spoil it for you in any way. But yes, it's definitely worth a watch. It does look really good movie. Yeah. Excellent.
Cool. I want to give a wee shout out as well to, I watched The Ugly Stepsister, which I think is getting limited release in the UK.
Yep.
Definitely recommend that. It's a sort of, so obviously it's Cinderella, but told from the perspective of one of the ugly stepsisters, but it's a body horror, and the stuff that poor girl goes through to be seen as like, beautiful within this sort of like royal court is horrific. And I think people are comparing it to The Substance and stuff like that just because it's a body horror and it's about sort of women. But I sort of took it as a kind of camp, hyperbolic, sort of proper Grimm's fairy tale approach to that sort of side of the story. It's definitely worth seeking out if you can. It's quite grim, and there's a couple of scenes in it where I was just like, am I watching the right film? Because it was just, naughty, shall we say. But yeah, definitely worth looking at if you like a sort of good, not a remake of a classic story, but definitely a different perspective on a sort of classic story. It's definitely worth looking at. It's quite shocking, but it's obviously supposed to be.
Nice. Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, I've noticed quite a few of the films that you covered during the festival have started popping up either in the GFT or even sort of general release as well. That's excellent. That's really good. And you can say, well, I saw them first. I was there before.
Yes, I was there, darling, at the press screening. Yeah. I just had to sign an embargo. I bought myself, do you know Sean Levy does a lot of like biographies of old Hollywood? So he's got a book out and it's called La Dolce Vita Confidential, and it's about Rome in the 1950s, about cinema there.
Nice. That sounds really good.
I'll give you it once I'm finished with it. I'll give you a load of it. So my plans for today are a wee glass of wine, that, and just reading about what everyone got up to in 1950s Rome, which I'm sure is probably a lot of canoodling.
Right. I got a book token for Christmas from
nice.
Leslie's aunt. So I finally went out last week and actually bought 2 books. I bought this one, which is Hollywood Wants to Kill You.
That looks cool.
From the team that brought you Science-ish. I think I've talked about that before. It's like science elements in film, where this is about peculiar science of death in the movies. And it's really good. It's just 2 guys talking to each other. So that's really good. I've not started reading it yet, obviously, because I was away. And I got that one as well, which is Room to Dream, which is a David Lynch autobiography. It's David Lynch and Christine McKenna. And this thing is...
That's weighty.
One, you know, it's a bit of a weighty book. So you're talking about nearly 600 pages worth. So they'll keep me going for a wee while as well. So
definitely. Chris and I have actually booked to go and see Blue Velvet and The Elephant Man because the GFT are doing a whole range of films for their 50th birthday. Yep. So there's a David Lynch-a-thon, so we're going to do that. And I've also booked to go and see Singing in the Rain because I've never seen it on the big screen. So I think that's going to be a really nice experience. But they've got loads of films on for their 50th birthday, actually, and really, really good like picks, like unusual ones as well. So yeah.
Singing in the Rain is particularly good with an audience.
Yeah, and I'm so looking forward to
GFT have shown it a good couple of times, and every time people come out of it. I think they showed it one time, you know how they do like a Christmas season?
Yeah.
Well, I think they included it one year in the Christmas season, and people were just saying, that was fantastic, great, you know. So yeah,
I'm so looking forward to it. I really am. So, and then brilliant. As I say, we've got a David Lynch double bill as well. So that'll be a nice trippy Saturday afternoon, well spent.
Nice. Excellent. Oh, that's really good.